I've owned this inexpensive drill driver for almost 6 years. It has a brush 2-speed motor. You can use it to drill or drive fasteners with various torque settings. It has a built-in light, 1.5 amp 20-volt battery, fantastic grip. It's well balanced. The only problem I'm having with it now is the chuck is starting to slip. So it's time to retire this. And thanks to the Home Depot Seeds program, we're looking to replace it with this Ridgid 18V Subcompact Brushless 1/2-inch hammer drill driver kit. Features 500 inch-pounds of torque and is supposedly 25% lighter in weight. Let's take a look. Opening the box reveals a very nice carrying case. It's got a zipper on it. And inside we have a compartment for the manual and other paperwork. We have one drill, and it actually feels very light. Of course, there's no battery attached to it. Forward, reverse, lockout. Nice feel here. That's not too bad. Smooth looking work on it. Then we have our charger, the adapter for the charger, and not one, but two 2-amp batteries that are included. Let's throw these on the charger and then we can test this unit out. While the battery charger comes with an annoying wall wart, you can mount it on a wall or desk. You can use it either vertically or horizontally. The battery just slides into it and does not lock. So you can just simply lift it out, which is great if this is not secured to a surface. But when you attach it to your tool, it does lock in. There are these two wings on either side. You squeeze and that releases. Another thing to note is that for a 2-amp battery, they do include a status indicator, which is a really nice feature to have. Two nice things about this charging system is, one, the labeling is very easy to follow. You don't need to break out the code book to figure out what the colors mean or the symbols. It's either charging, flashing, or if it's full green, it's fully charged. Then you get a temp delay and you get an error if there's something wrong with the battery. It couldn't be simpler. With another brand, a blinking red light means it's charging, while a steady red light means that it's fully charged. How can that be confusing? You want to know what the level of charge is? Well, then simply look at the top of the battery where you get that status indicated in real time. Two additional accessories that are included are a belt clip that can be mounted either on the right or left hand side, as well as this thing that looks like a fuse, but it's actually a bit holder. Now, that's a great idea. Unfortunately, you can only mount it on the right or left hand side. I actually prefer what my former drill did, which was they put the bit holder at the front, but as you see, they've used that location for the light instead of mounting it somewhere underneath the barrel. Here we have a close-up look of the belt clip mounted on the left-hand side of the drill. Over on the right-hand side, I've mounted the bit holder. Note that there is a lip on the underside, and that aligns with the bottom so that it looks like it has a nice fit to it. I'm a little leery just because this protrudes out quite a bit and it might catch on things, so not too thrilled about that. Again, I wish it was up front. Features of the tool include a 1/2-inch chuck, and when it tightens, you do get a click. You have a total of 22 torque settings. It starts on one end. You go through them. They're nice. They click. They're not very stiff at all. And then when you get to 22, your next one is for drilling. And then if you want to use it as a hammer drill, you go to the next, and then to get back to any of the previous settings, you just go back clockwise. 2-speed control. You can't really see the numbers on that. That would have been nice, but I don't think it's an issue because with most drills, 1 is in the front, 2 is in the back. Small profile for the brushless motor. You have your controls for forward, lockout, and reverse. But you can see that torque kicking in. On this one, we get a kick at the end. With this brushless one, you get a kick both at startup and at stop. Another interesting feature is when you lock out the trigger, you can still use it to operate the LED light. So the light will come on if you squeeze the trigger, and it'll stay on for about 30 seconds and cycle off. And you also get a way of tethering the unit should you decide that you need that. Here on the screen is the total time to charge. Here are the 3 different drills that I own: a brushed motor drill driver, a brushless drill driver hammer, and then a brushless drill driver. With the chucks fully closed, we see their protrusions out. The collar on this one is very loose and flimsy. The Ridgid, nice and smooth. This one, very loose, lots of play. Coming back on the collar where you make adjustments for torque and setting it from driving fasteners to drilling. This one, individual numbers for all settings, but very hard to turn. On the Ridgid, they put lines so they skip numbers, but very easy to turn. And on this one, same thing, they skip. They just went with odd numbers, whereas Ridgid went with even. And this one's a harder snap, so this one's the easiest to do. I like the grip pattern on this. It's nice and big. This one's okay. Then when we come back to the speed, this one's numbered. It's fairly easy to move to the faster speed. This one is numbered, but you can't really see it. And it's pretty easy to do with one finger. This one, they've numbered them, but it takes a lot more force to get that to move over. Not saying that any one is better than the other, just that they're different. When placing a bit into the chuck, you turn, this locks, but you have to lock by holding this in position and then twisting counter. So you got clockwise, counterclockwise to lock into position from my point of view. We come over to the Ridgid, insert the bit, and you feel a snap, and that's it, it's engaged. To release, bring it back, and you'll feel another snap, and it's out. On this one, we turn, and we hear that snap, but then we also hear those snaps. So let's see if the Ridgid also does that. First snap, and that's it. There's no more ringing out like you can with that. So again, not that one's better than the other, it's just different. We have a piece of hickory wood, the Ridgid. We're just going to see how long it takes for it to go through the wood with a brand new bit. Now we try Another drill. And these are all in speed 1, by the way. And finally, the one with the bad chuck. We have a fail. Chuck can't hold on to the bit, so that's as far as we can go with it, which is why this unit's being retired. I've drilled into this mortar with an SDS drill. Now we're going to try this one right about here. We're in the hammer mode. Let's see what it does. So I can tell you that the hammer mode really hasn't made that much difference. And maybe it's just because of the limitations of this tool versus an SDS, which is a real hammering tool, and got that hole done very quickly with an SDS, whereas it seems to be taking a lot longer, and I've made almost no impression into this mortar. I was finally able to drill the hole. It took putting a little back pressure on the unit, but it finally did it. I would say that for the occasional hole in the mortar, this drill hammer is fine. If you're going to do lots of these, you're going to spend the day doing them, then maybe an SDS would be a better tool, but this will suffice in a pinch. And of course, this has the advantage that you can swap out the drill bit for a fastener, which you can't really do with an SDS drill. If you found this video interesting or useful, give us a thumbs up, leave us a comment, join the subscription team, and as always, thank you ever so much for watching.